boys and girls. Thanks for being here today with me. I think I say that at the beginning of all my videos, but I really do mean it. Thank you for being here, and thank you for continuing your learning at home, and thank you for continuing to watch my videos, whether they're in math, or if it's science or social studies, or if it's writing, like we're doing today with continuing our poetry unit. I really, really do appreciate you watching them, and I am thankful and I am glad that you are here with me when we do these videos. So thank you. So let's get on with our poetry unit today. The next poem that we're going to be doing in our unit is a Cinquain poem. That's how I'll be pronouncing it today. Sometimes you might hear people pronounce it as Cinquain. I have heard it pronounced Cinquain also. So there are a few different pronunciations, and there are a couple different ways to write Cinquains. Really? Okay, please hold. All right, my tape is losing its stickiness. Okay, we're gonna continue because we just are. So that you could add that to the blooper reel. I don't know where I was. So there's a recipe. I'm sorry. Okay. All right, I'm just gonna keep going. This happens in school too. There's bloopers and laugh reels and joke reels. Oh, they're endless. So, okay, so anyway, so there is a certain recipe that you need to follow for the Cinquain, just like last week when we had the recipe that you had to follow for a haiku. The thing that's different about this poem, Cinquain, the beginning of that word sin or cinc, if you know the Spanish word five, it's cinco, it means five. So it's a 5-line poem, and each line has a different number of words, and each line has a different job in the poem. So now let's look at the big reveal of how to write a Cinquain poem. Oh, ta-da! There it is. Okay, so here's the 5 lines in our poem. There's line 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Each line has a specific number of words. And the great thing about this recipe is that each line of the poem tells you how many words are supposed to be in that line. So line 1 will have 1 word, line 2 has 2 words, line 3 has 3 words, 4 has 4 words. Line 5 is a little different in that it wraps around to the top again, and it's like line 1, and that it has 1 word. So in your poem, in your 5 lines, you'll have 1 word, 2 words, 3 words, 4 words, and then 1 word at the end to kind of like wrap it up and give it a happy ending, like we talk about. So the first word is your title word, just a 1 word of an object or a category. And the neat thing about Cinquains is that you can write about anything. Where haiku poems had to be about nature or animals, Cinquain poems, there's no limit. So if you want to write about a sports team, a race car, a Marvel character, a video game, if you want to do a sport, you can do animals, you can still do flowers, anything in nature, but for a Cinquain poem, you can write about anything you want. So you would have a 1-word title to begin with. In line 2, whatever you pick for your subject, you need 2 adjectives. Those are 2 describing words that somebody probably normally would think of. Like if I thought of kitten, cute and fluffy, right? Tiny, sweet, any kind of adjective that would probably just pop right into your head would be perfect. Line 3, you need 3 verbs in line 3. And the easiest way to remember that is if you use ing words, if you think about words that end with ing. So like running, jumping, spiking, hitting, racing, kicking, scratching, growling, any kind of ing word, perfect. You'll need 3 of them. In line 4, you want to describe a feeling, either something about that object or maybe a way that it makes you feel. So it'll be a phrase or like a little mini sentence. So these aren't going to be 4 little separate choppy words. This will be a phrase that you'll kind of put together that will have something to do with the title, an action that it does, or a feeling. And then in the line 5, a synonym for the title, you want to give another example. So let's say I was writing a poem about a dog, and I could start it with dog at the top, and let's say I described all about Ellie, I could use Ellie at the bottom. If I was writing one about hockey, I could write my haiku all about hockey, and then at the bottom I could put sabers. If I was doing, Hulk's right next to me, let's say I was doing Marvel, I could write the poem all about Hulk, and I could do Marvel. Or I could put Marvel at the top, and I could write all about Hulk, and then I could put Hulk at the bottom. Or I could use hero. You know, you could use lots of different words, but you need a beginning word and an ending word. So sometimes it's kind of nice if you think of pairs of words. Like if I wanted to write about a dessert, at the top, I could pick cookies, I could pick cake, I could put ice cream at the bottom. You could pick, let's see, you could do trees or flowers, sports teams, all different kinds of things that you could do to pick. So there's our formula. So you have to have a title and a synonym. So those two words are related. And then you need to remember you have to have two adjectives, 3 action words, and then a 4-word phrase describing a feeling. So I have a couple examples for you. Let's see, I hope I can tip my phone up. I may have to hold it. We don't need another catastrophe here. We've already had one blooper in this video. That's enough. Okay, so let's take a look at the examples that I have. So I may have to hold the phone for the second one or put the chart paper up a little higher. Why don't I just do that? Hopefully it's going to stick. We'll see. For some reason, nothing's being very cooperative today. Okay, so hopefully you can see those, but I'll read them to you. If not, maybe on your screen as you're watching it, you can make it a little bigger, extend it out. So the first topic I have is dinosaurs. So that's my 1-word title or subject. Then I have my 2 describing words. I have enormous, fierce. Dinosaurs, right? Enormous, fierce. Agreed. Then I have my 3 action words. I have roaming, fighting, and screeching. You could have used eating, running, flying, swimming. Dinosaurs do lots of different things, but they have to be 3 words that end with ing. Then I have my phrase to describe a feeling about dinosaurs. Sadly, they are extinct. They are. So that's like a little mini sentence with 1, 2, 3, 4 words. And then I thought of reptiles for my synonym because a lot of dinosaurs are reptiles. But I could have put a specific example. I could have done, you know, like T-Rex, Stegosaurus, Brontosaurus. If I had written something more specifically about that kind of dinosaur, I could have done that at the bottom. So down here, so now I picked a completely different topic. I picked snow. So that's my 1-word topic. And then if you want to jump down here, my synonym is winter because snow happens in the winter. So snow reminds me of winter. My 2 adjectives, my 2 describing words are white and fluffy. So that's line 2. Line 3, my action words, my ing words, I have falling, blowing, and drifting. So those are my 3 words that have ing. And then I have the feeling or something I think about when I see snow. Sparkles in the sunlight. And then I have winter. So I have 1 word, 2 words, 3 words, 4 words, and then my 1-word synonym or another topic or an example is something that has to do with my title. So before we leave today, let's write one quick example together. I'll put up a little half piece of paper. Now see if I can write this a little bit bigger. I think when I did my other examples, they were kind of tiny. Makes a difference if I write the words in 1 line or if I double space it and I use 2 chunks of the line. So I'm going to do 2 lines this time. It'll be a little bigger. So I already did this one off the top of my head because, you know, sometimes I struggle with that. And I didn't want to do that. So I was thinking about spring. spring in the rainy, cold, snowy weather that we've been having. And I love lilacs. I've got a gorgeous lilac bush in my yard. I have a couple of them actually. So I thought I would write about lilacs. Sadly, the Lilac Festival is canceled this year, but oh well. So I'm going to write a poem. Okay, so first line, line 1, that's my title. I have one word. When I think about lilacs, my favorite color lilacs are purple. And the reason I love them is because of the smell. So I think they're very fragrant. So my 2 describing words for my lilacs to tell about them, to help somebody picture them in their mind, I'm going to use purple and fragrant. G-R-A-N-T. Okay. Now you might notice as I'm writing the poems, and if you see some examples of Cinquains, sometimes authors will put capital letters on each of the words because they're their own separate identities inside the poem. Sometimes authors will just put capitals on the first line of the poem. To me, it really doesn't make any difference. I'll leave that up to you. The only thing that I would say is when you do your mini sentence, in a sentence we don't capitalize every single word. Maybe just for line 4, capitalize the first letter if you want to, but then use lowercase letters in the other one. So, okay, now I need my 3 action words. 3 words that end with ing when I think of lilacs. So my lilac bushes are huge. And I think of them blowing. They blow a lot and they sway. So I'm going to think of blowing. When they blow in the wind and then they sway in the wind. And their leaves are really pretty on both sides. The way they kind of flitter around. They have a lot of pretty green leaves. And blooming. Okay, so there's my 3 ing words. So I've got my 1-word title, my 2 adjectives, my 3 verbs with ing words. And then a feeling about lilacs, they just make me happy. They do. I love the smell. I love them. They're beautiful. I have very fond memories of them. My grandparents had lilac bushes in their yard, so I love lilacs. So they make me happy. They make me happy. 4 words. They make me happy. I'm going to put an exclamation point on the bottom of that. And lilacs, another 1-word title that would go with that. That would be a synonym. I would just think of flowers. Okay, so my whole poem altogether would read: lilacs, purple, fragrant, blowing, swaying, blooming. They make me happy. Flowers. So there's my lilac poem in the format of a Cinquain 5-line poem. I hope you enjoy writing Cinquains this week too. Remember to keep looking up at the formula. Use this as a little cheat sheet. Use my examples to help you. You might want to have the video out maybe while you're working on your notebook or your paper. And as I do each line, maybe you want to think of a different topic and you can be doing a line at the same time if you need a little more guidance. Or you can just get a piece of paper or take a screenshot of the formula so that when you have when you're working on your rough drafts, you can have the recipe right there. So anyway, thank you for joining me again today. I have to say it, and I will see you next time. Bye.